Hey everybody. So my opponent on the 3-day game that I've done a couple of videos on now, he went ahead and made a move, and the game he resigned shortly thereafter. So I wanted to go over the move that he made and then do a little bit of analysis on the game. So here we are. The last video, I decided to go ahead and make the move here, taking my rook over to h6, threatening check. My opponent, he had two options. He could have either taken my rook or he could have retreated his king. He decided to retreat his king, at which point I went up, did a check with his king, and he took the rook, but then after that he resigned before I could make a next move, realizing that his queen was about to be lost. So if I go through and let's analyze this game. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to retry my mistakes. So according to the computer, I had 3 mistakes, and here's one. Now, one thing I have noticed, I believe here I took the bishop and threatened his queen. I have noticed that the chess engines, at least the chess engine that chess.com uses, which I believe is Stockfish, it seems to be aggressive. And maybe in general, being aggressive is good. So I bet the computer probably wants me to take this bishop because that would get a little material, equal amount of material off of the board, which simplifies the game, which I believe is probably desired. So if I go ahead and I take here, he'll take here. So now we've eliminated our dark square bishops at the expense of him having a double pawn. So let's see if that is the answer. And it is. Perfect. Great. Okay. Next up. Let's see, RA to C1. So I did this move, which the computer says was a blunder. I believe my thought process there was wanting to get the rook on a file that would soon become clear, or that might become clear. But I guess the computer says that was a blunder. So what would be the correct response at this point? So I don't see anywhere where I could be aggressive. I could go here. Well, it's clear. If I went here, I'm threatening his queen. This square is guarded by 2 pieces. I'm threatening by 2 pieces. So I don't know that that is the correct answer, to go here. So if I went there, and then he recaptures, and then I capture, and then he captures. Actually, that actually is good for me because at that point, I have only lost... No, wait a minute. No, let's see. If I go here, he's lost a pawn. I've lost a knight. He's lost a knight and a pawn. And now I've lost a knight and a pawn. So that exchange ends up pretty equal. Huh. So I don't know that, maybe that's not the answer. Maybe the correct response here would be to bring my bishop back. Let him take. No, that doesn't make sense either. I'm kind of stumped on this one. What is the correct response here? Is it simply just the take with the pawn and then capture? No, because that just ends up at the same line. All right, let's get a hint. So the hint is to move my knight. And the only move I can see that makes any kind of sense is what I've been talking about, is moving the knight here to capture this pawn. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. So if it's not there, then maybe move here to harass his queen. That's it. Perfect. So I guess if I go there and I harass his queen is quickly running out of places to go. And maybe that's the idea behind that. Okay. All right. Next. So at this point, what did I do? I think I just took this pawn because it's just an empty pawn. But the computer says there is a better move. Again, being aggressive, because the computers like to be aggressive. So what move is more aggressive than just taking that? Taking my queen and putting it on the 7th rank? Maybe? I don't know about that. That doesn't sound right. Let's get a hint. Okay, the hint is my queen. I could go here and put it on the 7th rank. Well, I've got this bishop here, this unguarded pawn. So maybe if I move my queen here, I'm threatening his rook and I'm threatening this bishop, as well as this pawn, actually. So I'm actually, will basically have, I wouldn't take the rook because then he could just take back, but I would have the option of taking either the dark squared bishop or the b pawn. And there's no way that he can protect the b pawn while moving his bishop for safety because they're different colors right now. So I'm thinking that's probably the move. And it is. All right, great. So if I look at the game report, I had a 63.8% accuracy, 1 blunder, which was the rook moving. Still don't quite understand why that was a blunder, but again, who am I to argue with the computer? 2 mistakes and 5 inaccuracies. Overall, it looks like we were mostly even matched. We both had several best moves and excellent moves. And it looks like the biggest determinant factor here was just that he had a couple more blunders than I did. Now, let's look at his blunders real quick. So that was a blunder for him. Where, okay, it already told me that the best move was for him to take. Again, an aggressive move, but that actually would be a good move because if he does that, I will take back with my pawn, weakening the guard of my king. So there's that. Where's the other blunders? I don't know. Who cares? But overall, it was a good game. I'm pretty happy with the outcome and the way that it ended, and the strategy I used for capturing his queen, I'm pretty pleased with it. So he and I have already started another game. I think he's going to take a turn on this one. He's the light colored pieces. So I'll go ahead and I'll start another video with this game once we're into the middle game. I don't think there's much. There's not a lot interesting that happens in the openings, at least at this level. So maybe once this gets into the 10th, 12th move or so, then I'll start doing videos on it and keep you guys updated on how it goes. Anyway, thank you for watching, and be sure to click and subscribe and all of that stuff. Bye.